Hello and welcome to the Larry Sanders Show revisit, reaction, commentary. This is a series that is kind of the OG of HBO. First episode aired, it was August 15th, 1992. So when Larry Sanders hit, it was something like you had never seen. I've seen most of the Larry Sanders shows, but most episodes, it's been 20 plus years. I'm really excited and looking forward to going back to this. Part of it started when I was directing a shoot halfway across the country. And while driving, I did an audio book of Tinderbox, which is the history of HBO. And just listening to the Larry Sanders Show and how important it was basically, it showed that HBO could do a high quality show in 92, August 15th, 1992 when it debuted. And that's what followed behind it was Sex and the City. And then behind Sex and the City was, hey, we can do dramas too, and The Sopranos. And you had 6 Feet Under, and it just builds and goes and goes and goes. But those were kind of the OG shows. Larry Sanders Show for me represented, I gotta have HBO, because I kind of finished up cable when I wanted to have HBO when I was in my early 20s. I didn't always have HBO, and you didn't have HBO Go, you didn't have Max, you didn't have a way to always see the shows. They started re-airing once you started getting multiple HBO channels, and where I caught some of them up was HBO Comedy, which would rerun the Larry Sanders Show like Monday through Friday. But I still haven't seen everything. So we're gonna start with episode 1. You know, I think people really have to understand that it's a look behind a talk show. And you really get the vibe of what's going on in the talk show. And what they cleverly did was they shot the show where it was behind the scenes, and then the actual clips of the program and the talk show itself, it had a different look. So you kind of saw the two different looks. And for the first time where you see the happy talk where they're going to break, you might see Larry Sanders tell one of the guys to fuck off, one of the guests. I mean, it really kind of led into the edge. And the great thing about it was all the great cameos they had on it who were playing an exaggerated version of themselves. And people had to have a little bit of sense of humor going on there. I mean, I remember Howard Stern, Phil Hartman, a lot of big names, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them kind of poke out. I think there's 206 during the 90 episode 6-season run. So we're starting with episode 1 called The Garden Weasel. And you know, what added to the interest of this was Larry Sanders was always kind of up. There was always talk about him actually getting a late night show because he became a Johnny Carson favorite on The Tonight Show. And then he became one of Johnny Carson's most important and early guest talk show hosts. A lot of shows today, when they're away, they go and they just air reruns. Well, The Tonight Show didn't do that. They would have a guest host. And Gary Shandling did this guest host, which gave him great insight. I'm just looking forward to this. Let's get it started. Interesting thing about Larry Sanders Show Open, there's no music. It's Hank Kingsley warming up the audience.
Applesauce.
A lot of times you have like a comic that comes in and does the warm-up. Like there's a legendary comic that's Jimmy Kimmel, and then after he's done, he goes to play the last set at the Comedy Store.
Don's pants. What's going on with Don's pants right now?
The zipper is broken. I didn't know that.
Rip Torn. Peter Tolan, he went on to do quite a bit. I talked to him a couple times at Hollywood Park because he's a big horse racing guy during my TVG days. And he went on to do Dennis Leary stuff. He was heavily involved with Rescue Me. And then obviously,
On tape from Hollywood, the Larry
Judd
Sanders
Apatow is a young, I think he's 23, a supervisor producer on this. So he had influence. So there are a lot of people that came out of Larry Sanders Show to do some really nice things behind the scenes and in front of the camera.
Larry Sanders.
So right now we're just seeing the way it looks, the way they film it for the TV. So what you're watching would be what the audience is watching at home. And then it'll look different when they cut behind the scenes and you kind of see what's going on when they're not on the air. Always was a big fan of Gary Shandling's stand-up.
So how many of you saw Bill Clinton on Arsenio Hall when he played the sax?
That was a big deal. Clinton putting sunglasses on, playing the
Actually,
saxophone.
I'm a little frustrated because we had Jerry Brown here on this show. Didn't actually play a number with the band, but he did score them some great coke.
Jerry Brown was former governor of California, ran for president several times, I think.
I was really leaning towards voting for the captain of Captain and Tennille.
Captain Tennille, Love Will Keep Us Together. Iconic song.
Did you like that, Joe Kane?
I liked it very much.
Well, you're mistaken. The only reason I'm not running for president this year, I swear to God, is I am afraid no woman would come forward to say she had sex with me. I swear, I feel I would be doing one of those CNN interviews, looking into the camera going, "Come on, Susie, you know you did it with me."
This would have been the era of Gary Hart, who looked to be a front runner for the Democratic Party, and news got out of an affair, and back then you were basically done. Over. Finish.
A very funny show.
I thought so, too.
I didn't know Harrison Ford did impressions. His Carol Channing was terrific.
Patriot Game should have been a musical.
Janine Garofalo?
Oh, Paula, I thought Shirley Jones was going to tell the story about Marty Engels at Kmart.
So did I. Perhaps she was nervous and forgot. I can't say.
Doesn't matter. The woman's a babe.
Oh, for God's sake.
Remember in Partridge Family to see her thigh?
There's Beverly.
I did. I watched it.
Larry Sanders, Larry Sanders' assistant.
Network meeting.
Nope.
Come on.
No. Who's going to be there?
Some of our pals. The president of the networks, new vice president of programming, Melanie Parrish.
Oh, fuck me.
I'll come over there later, stick a red-hot poker up your ass. We'll call it even.
Okay. You have my address, all right?
And your poker size.
You know, a network president shouldn't be allowed to say, "Hello, Larry."
Larry, now you know Melanie Parrish.
Oh, sure.
Well, she's out here now. She's in charge of late-night programming.
We all know what the economic climate of network television is like out there right now. We're getting kicked in the balls.
It was so much harder in the 90s to be a female executive, where I think it was a necessity almost that they felt they had to just be kicked in the balls and
Keep our advertisers happy.
be part of the men's club.
They want you to do live commercials as part of the show. They want it. That means we want it.
Live commercials was a real big thing during late night, especially with Carson
The way I do, I just think they would respond
in
more
the
to
80s.
the hand jobs.
You don't want to do it.
No, I didn't say that. Artie?
It's just a matter of finding the right man for this job. Now, I don't know if you know, but Hank Kingsley does a hell of a lot of fine commercial work.
The thing is, Hank does too much commercial work. He's way overexposed.
Overexposure.
His saturation. level
Suits
is very
don't
high.
like that with
See, I
advertisers.
don't think that's true.
He's doing the Green Giant spots.
Is that Hank?
You can't really tell because you only see him from the knees down, but he's the
I
new
didn't
Green
know that.
Certainly hasn't got the cachet of a Larry Sanders.
Our parent company cannot and will not carry your show in deficit, and that comes directly from Unidac Electronics.
Oh, gee, I didn't know we were still owned by the garage door opener people.
And yes, Mr. Sanders, they do still own you.
Well, they're a couple payments short, but that's another discussion. What would the commercial be for?
The Garden Weasel.
Oh, that is no way to talk about Miss Parrish. You know, there are no other talk show hosts who do their own commercials.
Exactly.
Honey, it's no big deal. It's just a commercial. You're funny. You'll make it funny. The name alone is funny.
It is comedy. Garden Weasel.
Weasel.
Even
If there was a Garden Weasel, I'd have one.
Oh,
funnier.
yeah. I'm sure that bitch Melanie's laughing her ass off. She isn't that bad. Artie said when we got out of the meeting, "Hey, I swear I killed that woman in Korea." Would you act like a dog, for God's sakes? This is a commercial I did in 1979.
My briefcase got to Fort Worth before I did.
Can I get you anything else?
No thanks. You've already...
Look at the sideburns. And that little wink that
oh, honey, look. If you don't want to do the weasel thing, just
I'm not in the mood for sex talk, honey. I'm not in a position to say no. They'll think I'm an asshole. They'll think that I'm, not a team player.
Tucson, by the way, is where Gary Shandling grew up. Where he broke free, he came to California. Started working on his nightclub act, and
Melanie Parrish. She's called
within 4 years, he made it on Carson.
Okay, I will tell Melanie you will do the garden weasel.
With great delight.
With great delight.
Good. Because
Hank won't come in here on his own?
So that's Darlene, played by Linda Doucette. In real life, she was Gary Shandling's girlfriend for part of the series. She plays Hank's assistant, as I said.
Darlene said you want to see me?
What's on your mind, Hank, for God's sakes?
Permission to speak freely?
Haven't we all worked with the Hank?
I just heard through the grapevine that we're thinking of doing a live commercial on the show tonight, and I was wondering.
You're overexposed, Hank. Overexposed.
I know the garden weasel. I use the garden weasel, and I have a good relationship with the garden weasel people. They're
great people. That's what I hear anyway.
Well, Hank, I want you to know that I told them I wanted you to do the spot.
The one green giant spot has really been a monkey on my back. If they ever ask you to put on a pair of green tights, no matter how much they offer you, you just walk away. Walk away.
I'll remember that, Hank.
Can you imagine Hank in green tights?
Are you sure you're feeling up to this, Mr. Hayes?
Oh, I'm fine.
Mr. Hayes
always
from
reschedule and get somebody
Airplane.
else to do it.
Mommy, why can't I ride the dog?
Oh.
I had to go, didn't I, huh?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
you're-
hilarious.
I had you going.
That's really funny, Robert.
Well, I was in Airplane, too.
Yeah.
That was a joke to the bad sequel to Airplane, which is still iconic today.
I swear I killed her in the war.
You don't want to do the commercial? Just say the word. I'll take care of it.
I'll take a shot at it.
That executive, by the way, is Deborah May. I had to look it up. I rewatched Johnny Be Good, I don't know, like a month ago. And Anthony Michael Hall, Robert Downey Jr., but she plays Mrs. Walker, Johnny Walker's mom, the hotshot quarterback played by Anthony Michael Hall.
I was standing there. I was dripping wet, stark naked.
Ooh.
If you men could please just settle down. Maybe you caught the reflection in that magnifying makeup mirror. Commercial? We have to take a
Here we go.
commercial.
Live commercial time.
We'll talk some more. Stand by. I just have
Larry's so embarrassed. This is so beneath him.
to welcome a new sponsor to the Larry Sanders Show. Welcome you to the world of the garden weasel.
In the early days of podcasts, it was a big deal to have the host do a live read.
I'm about 100 yards off the green here. I'll try a 5 weasel.
So that 5 wood, let's do the 5 weasel.
You just gently glide your weasel. And by the way, it's been years since I've said that.
Late night, one of the few
Glide the weasel in between.
venues where it's known that the executive producer's out in front of the audience by TV instead of in the control room.
Look, Ma, I'm making valuable mulch. Hello, Mr. Hoffa. The blades are removable for easy cleaning.
Jimmy Hoffa reference to the former Union head. You might have seen him in The Irishman. The character, who was he played by? I can't remember, but supposedly he was buried in the Meadowlands below the old Giant Stadium.
What we're trying to do here, Mr. Sanders, Larry, is please the sponsors, not antagonize them.
Suits with no sense of humor, no creativity, understanding.
When you ask Larry Sanders to do a commercial, you get Larry Sanders. Your sponsors should be delighted.
Just say the copy is written, Larry. I'll see you tomorrow night.
You know the truly frightening thing?
What?
I'm really turned on right now.
Well, it's not really deprogramming, Mr. Sanders. It's behavior modification through positive reinforcement and treats.
Well, I understand that. I used to be single.
That's Kathy Kinney.
You know, by the way, I bought a garden weasel this morning, and you know, I love it.
She was big on the Drew Carey show. She played Mimi.
Do you use a garden weasel?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
I
do.
love the garden weasel.
Yes, I do.
Where did you get this dog?
We had a trainer on my show. I fell in love with the dog, and Bill was getting ready to retire.
Bill Akers?
Yeah, I think that was it. Bill Akers, yeah.
Oh, right.
And,
no. I'm sorry, but no. This is a superbly trained animal, Mr. Sanders. I can't touch him. That would be like painting over a Picasso.
I'm not retraining a Bill Akers dog.
Chopper. Door.
Come on, Larry. You got the greatest dog in the world. And he wants some ordinary dog.
You know, here's something I don't understand. Weasels, aren't they rodents? Why would you name something after a rodent?
Oh, this is going to make Miss Exec real happy.
Why not just call it the Amazing Rat Stick? Too far? What? Should I have said the Fabulous Vermin Instrument?
No,
I'm doing the best I can. Other than that, I stuck to the copy.
Do you want me to fuck with your budget? Is that what you want me to do?
Where's Arthur?
I am talking to you.
Larry hates conflict.
Not here, Miss Parrish.
I find it highly unlikely an exec is going to yell at a host of a late night talk show in front of everyone.
Don't ever come onto my set and talk to me like that in front of my people again.
I pay your people, my friend, and I pay you, and I can talk to you any damn way I see fit. It's not my favorite, but let's talk about problems. What's your problem? I think it bugs you that you have to take orders from a woman.
You know, as a rule, I don't hit women, but this rule doesn't apply.
Oh, yeah, you don't have any problems with women, do you? How many times have you been married?
How many times have you slept with Sheldon?
Uh-oh.
Easy.
Ooh, that's a beauty.
Yeah, I know. I was tying my shoes this morning, and I walked into the
humiliation.
door, bumped my head.
Whatever.
All right, a woman hit me.
Melanie.
How'd you know that?
Well, everyone in the loop.
She got fired today.
What a shiner. What happened?
Melanie Parrish hit me.
No, really. Softball? Doorknob.
I don't know what the heck I'm doing out there, Hank. I need a little advice. You've done like 20,000 of these things.
Got to substitute something.
This is one thing that Hank actually knows. Maybe they brought in most of the jokes, but...
What are you thinking about?
America.
He's crazy. That's what Larry's thinking.
Flowers can turn into heartache and backache. All because
Come on, go to the bullpen. Call in Hank.
there's a way to weed that's... Hank?
Yes, sir.
Come on over here a minute. You know, if you're gonna talk garden weasel, you gotta go right to the main weasel.
Friends, you say you love those fresh flowers and veggies, but you're tired of the aches and the pains that come with weeding? Well, I'm here to tell you, your weeding days are over. Can I hear you say,
Hey now.
Hey now. Hey now. I have here in my hands, well, it's a miracle of gardening engineering. Say hello to the garden weasel. Hello, garden weasel. This garden weasel does the work of 10 men and a boy.
How many boys, Hank?
One small boy. Your knees will thank you. For the garden weasel, this is Farmer Kingsley. And
Farmer Sanders.
saying,
You all come back now, you hear?
How much better was that? Bring in Hank. She's smiling. She's
There
smiling.
you go, Shell. Television at its finest.
It's melted
huh?
the ice. The guy playing Sheldon.
I'll tell
I've
you,
seen him
handsome
around
master.
too. Oh, I forgot he's in Poltergeist.
He is. He is.
This is the way I think these commercials should be done.
Exactly. And this is why the Garden Weasel people want you to do more. You and Hank together, the two of you, as a team, you're fabulous.
Doing the commercials with Hank.
What Larry's
And I
gonna
want-
say
no,
is
Artie,
that,
Artie. What I'm gonna say is no. I can't do these commercials. This has gone on long enough. By the way, unless we're all fucking blind, I stink at doing them. And if Unideck Electronics has a little problem with this, really, you know, they can screw a light bulb up my ass and use me as a desk lamp.
Now, don't take this as a threat, but I killed a man like you in Korea, hand to hand. My boy doesn't want to do any more commercials. From now on, you'll talk to me. Understood?
I'll be in the car, Sheldon.
It's no problem, Larry. I mean, if you really want to try this once or twice, no problem.
Really?
Artie.
See, that's Larry Sanders in a nutshell. He's the type of guy who gets you to do... He gets out of something that he doesn't want to do, and then he feels guilty about it, and then he'll walk out and say, hey, but any other time, I'll do it. And then they turn around and say, really? And he's like, Artie, get me out of this. So that's kind of Larry Sanders. I thought the pilot was good. I didn't think it was great, but I thought it was very good. And, you know, you have to go back to 92. That's why I'm curious to, how does it play today versus what it did in the 90s? Sorry. Alexa, off.
Timer is done.
Alexa, off. Sorry. forgetful me uses Alexa quite a bit. The other thing is trying to keep out the workflow. There's a little cut in the middle there. I'm using a camera. My older camera's a bigger, better camera, but the tracking, I gotta be like right in the middle. And if I move, Dean Martin's in focus. And anyway, so I changed the other. But I think I'm really curious to see, and the separation from cutting the pilot to the second episode. So it's called The Promise. So hope you liked it. Let's return with episode 2 next week, The Promise, on the Larry Sanders revisiting an OG of HBO.